Hello, and welcome to another edition of Interviewing the Legends, brought to you by the Publicity Works Agency, devoted to promoting musicians and authors worldwide. Call us today at 941-877-1552 to start your free publicity evaluation. Remember, we shine only when we make you shine. Please welcome the host of Interviewing the Legends, music journalist, author, and entrepreneur, Ray Shasho. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Ray Shasho Show, brought to you by the Publicity Works Agency. Each week, Ray spotlights in-depth interviews with legendary and up-and-coming authors and music artists. Ray also features the movers and the shakers of the music and publishing industries and suggests important methods for getting the most out of your public relations and marketing needs. Please welcome music journalist, author, and entrepreneur, Ray Shasho.
Hello, hello, hello. Once again, everyone, I'm Ray Shasho. Welcome to the show, where we interview legendary and up-and-coming music artists and authors, brought to you by the Publicity Works Agency. Call us today at 941-877-1552 or email us at publicityworksagency.com. Remember, we shine only when we make you shine. Stephen Bishop is a world-class guitarist, vocalist, and songwriter with a celebrated career of over 4 decades of live performance, song, craftsmanship, recording, and entertainment. A San Diego native, Stephen Bishop's introduction to the music industry was after seeing the Beatles perform on the Ed Sullivan Show at 13 years old. Shortly after seeing their performance, his brother Denny bought him an electric guitar. He began creating his own unique chords, melodies, and writing original songs. The first song he ever wrote was called Surf's Turf, an instrumental. Less than a year after picking up the guitar, Stephen formed a band called The Weeds. Soon after, they began performing at local venues, playing a mixture of original songs and popular hits on the radio at the time. As a band, The Weeds placed second at the Claremont Battle of the Bands in 1966. After The Weeds disbanded, Stephen ventured to L.A. in the hopes of landing a songwriting contract. Stephen walked the streets of L.A. in the early 1970s with nothing more than $12 guitar. He began playing songs for different publishers in the area and landed a deal with Edwin H. Morris Publishing in Hollywood. Stephen was paid $50 a week. During his first few years at the publishing company, only one of his songs was recorded. At one point, Stephen considered leaving L.A. to work for his father's insurance company in San Diego. However, his friend Leah Kontko, who is the sister of Mama Cass, connected him with Art Garfunkel. Art recorded 2 of Stephen's songs on his album Breakaway. Shortly thereafter, Stephen was signed to ABC Records. He released his first album, Careless, which had 2 popular hits, On and Save It for a Rainy Day. It became gold certified, as well as his second album, Bish. Stephen Bishop has released 17 albums and has played his songs personally for Barbra Streisand, Diana Ross, Bette Midler, Melissa Manchester, and Katy Perry. His latest album, A Blueprint, was released in 2016. In Eric Clapton's autobiography, he mentions Stephen Bishop as one of his favorite songwriters. Stephen Bishop's hit song, It Might Be You, was the theme to the film Tootsie. Stephen has written the themes to several films, including Animal House and Money Pit, one of my favorite comedies, and White Knight. His songs have been performed by Phil Collins, Eric Clapton, Barbra Streisand, Art Garfunkel, Steve Perry, Stephanie Mills, Kenny Loggins, Johnny Mathis, Phoebe Snow, David Crosby, the Four Tops, Aswad, Beyonce, and Pavarotti. Stephen was nominated for 2 Grammys and awarded an Oscar nomination for his song Separate Lives. Stephen also appeared as the charming guitar player in Animal House. In the Toga Party scene, John Belushi slams the hell out of Stephen's guitar to smithereens. On May 16th this year, Netflix released the film Benji. The main theme song for this movie, Almost Home, was written by Stephen Bishop and Kurt Sobel. Please welcome singer, songwriter, actor, and guitarist Steve Bishop to the Ray Shasho Show. Hello, Stephen.
Ray, I don't even need to talk now. You did my entire biography.
We're done. It's been
done.
good having you.
It's been great. Thanks. What can I add? My God, that was an incredible biography thing there.
Well, you've done so much, Most of the artists I interview.
I have done a lot in my
wow.
In my
most
years.
of the guys I interview have had such a long, illustrious career. It's hard to shorten that. It really is. You want to get all the good stuff in.
That's right.
Well, you've got some good dates coming
up. My dogs. That's the only thing you left out. I have my dogs now. I have Buddha and Nola, and before that,
okay.
I've always had golden retrievers. So before that, I had Elvis and Priscilla, and then before that, I had Rabies and Vaccine.
Oh wow, they're beautiful
dogs.
What
my dogs were called Rabies and Vaccine. I take them to the park, go Rabies, and everybody go what?
That's funny. That's hilarious. Only you would come up with names like that.
Yeah, really. Well, I spelled
you
it
got
different.
some interesting. You got some interesting dates coming up.
R-A-Y-B-E-E-Z and V-A-X-I-N-E.
Huh.
A little different.
Yeah, it is a little different.
So what's it like down there in Florida?
Interesting dates coming up. You have 4th of July. You'll be at the 5th Annual Music on the Meadows.
Yeah, at the Terranea Resort Hotel. Yeah, it's a great hotel.
And you've got Al Jardine from the Beach Boys, Ambrosia, and lots of other artists are going to be at that show as well.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. Ambrosia's going to be playing with me, and we're going to do a whole bunch of good songs and songs that people like to hear. Even Animal House I'm going to do.
Oh, really? Huh. Hello? Hello?
Okay, just a moment. He dropped off. One moment, please.
He dropped.
This is what happened. Let me explain. What happened? Let me explain. So let's say there's this person. So let's.
We'll get him back. No worries.
Okay.
Your battery went out. So, do you want me to call you on a different number?
Just Kiwi. So what can
Perfect.
Good.
All right, everything's good to go, and we're back.
Sorry about that.
No worries.
Welcome back, Stephen.
I'm hearing beep, beep, beep. I'm going, oh, what happened? That's my phone.
And we're back.
But this is a good phone.
Yeah. It sounds like a great show. I wish I was in California for that show.
Yeah, for the Terranea show.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited to meet Al Jardine, believe it or not. And he's been around for a long time. I remember the Beach Boys from when I was a kid, and I just always loved the Beach Boys. So it'll be fun to meet him.
Yeah, I can see you in the Beach Boys, actually. I think you would mesh well with the band.
God only knows what I'd be without
There you go. Yeah.
Oh, I love Pet Sounds is such a classic album. It's such an amazing album.
It is.
I'd like to have an album that would influence Paul McCartney to write Sgt. Pepper. I'd say that would be a cool thing.
Well, Eric Clapton's pretty impressed by you. That's saying a lot.
Well, he played on my first album back in 1976. I mean, way back when. And he's always been a great friend. Great friend.
How did you and Eric Clapton hook up?
Well, originally, my manager back then, Bob Ellis, brought him by the studio along with Patty back then, and he was going to just play on my album. He brought his guitar, and he thought it was kind of a joke, I think, that he told him I was a funny guy, so I guess he thought I was a funny guy enough to play on my album.
It's funny.
And, yeah, he did. He played great. So he played on Save for Any Day, the single, a solo.
That's incredible. I mean,
Yeah.
you've had some great artists on your albums. It's amazing.
Yeah, I've been very lucky to have great. On my Bowling in Paris, I have Phil Collins produced some of it, and
Right.
he also played great on it, and so did Sting sang on it and played bass on a song. Yeah, that helped.
You've also, yeah, definitely. You've also had a lot of people cover your songs. I mean, besides Art Garfunkel, Barbra Streisand, the Four Tops, Helen Reddy. I mean, the list goes on. Kenny Loggins, Phoebe Snow. It's good to be a songwriter, isn't it?
Well, it is. It's a great thing when people do your stuff. It's always interesting. Sometimes it's good. Sometimes it's not so good. So you never know.
One of your favorite albums, I think you mentioned, and I love the album, is Red Cap to Manhattan, which
Yeah,
was
that's
your
just
third
been
album.
re-released as remastered,
Right.
and you can get it on Amazon. It's got all sorts of good people on there.
It's a great album. It really didn't, hit the top 40 or anything, but
No,
I thought it was a very good album.
Are you trying to say that it went wood? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, maybe not as successful as some of your other albums, I guess.
No, it did go wood, but
It did, huh?
That's all right. It's selling more now.
Good.
But it's got now. There's a new release with a jam between all of us jammed in 1980 with Phil Collins and Eric Clapton and
Right.
Gary Brooker from Procol Harum, and we jammed in the studio. And we put it on there. We just did a really weird version of "Hit the Road Jack."
I heard that. I
you
made
heard
sure
it?
I listened. Yeah, I did. It was on YouTube.
Oh, great!
It's an excellent cover.
Yeah. Well, we're just goofing around, really.
Yeah, it sounds. I mean, your voice sounds good. Excellent in that song. I wanted to mention too. Do you have a thing for redheads?
Do I have a thing for redheads? Not really. Not deliberately.
You've got a couple of songs that you mentioned redheads. Smile When You Touch Her. See That Redhead on the Street.
Oh, do I?
Yep. And
Wow.
then on your latest album, you also
On Blueprint?
mentioned Emma Stone.
Oh, right. Wow, you're really looking for it here.
I am.
Yeah, I did mention Emma Stone. Yeah, on that song. That was one of my weirder songs, but I really like that song. What's it called? It's called. I have no brain today.
I'll Sleep on the Plane, right?
I'll Sleep on the Plane.
Right. Which is one of my favorite songs on that album. You say she looks like Emma Stone. It's a cool track. It sounds a little bit like Steely Dan.
Yeah, it is supposed to sound like Steely Dan. My little
it is?
tribute to Steely Dan. I love Steely Dan. Steely Dan's lyrics are so brilliant. I mean, they're just really incredible. They've always been so amazing with their lyrics and their music. I mean, it's just top notch.
Well, Blueprint is a favorite of mine. Everyone should go out and buy that album. I really liked it. I'll Sleep on the Plane was my favorite track, but I did like Holy Mother. What was talk about Holy Mother a little bit?
Well, Holy Mother is a song that I wrote with Eric Clapton. He asked me if I was staying at his pad years ago, and I was there for I think for a wedding, and he asked me if I felt like writing a song, and he said he had a title called Holy Mother, and so I went upstairs and worked on it, and he wound up working on it, and he made a song. It's a heavy song. It's very heavy.
It is a heavy song, yeah, I agree.
About, when you're down and out,
Well, the album starts out with Everybody's Gone to the Moon, a Jonathan King tune.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my album blueprint. I'm proud of it.
Yep. It's a good album. Little Bird kind of sounded like a Tom Petty tempo a little bit.
Yeah.
Yep. And there's do you play piano at all? Because I hear a lot of piano in a lot of your songs.
I put piano in there, but I don't necessarily play piano, no. I play piano very badly,
right.
I mean, extremely badly. I have a piano in my home, a nice grand piano, but I don't really play. I'm a guitar player.
Right.
It's so funny because one of my best friends, he told me, I was telling him, maybe I should learn how to play piano. He's a piano player, and he told me, don't bother. It's you're a guitar player. You'll never be a piano player. It's like, well,
really?
Thanks a lot. Not much faith there.
Yeah, really. I disagree with that. I'm a guitar player too, and I screw around on the piano once in a while, and I love the piano. It's a fun instrument. It really is.
Oh, it's amazing. Yeah, I love it. I wish I would have learned how to play.
Yeah. One of your other tracks kind of reminded me a little bit of either John Lennon or Julian Lennon. I interviewed
know,
Julian.
And I Love You.
Well, And I Love You, and also Before Nightfall, in a way.
Oh, really? Before Nightfall, huh?
I heard John Lennon or kind of / Julian Lennon, because they sound a little bit alike. But, yeah, I heard that in that song.
I'm always on, for years and years, have copied John Lennon's voice, because I love his voice. And I'll do like an occasional, stuff like that.
That was good.
Just to, commemorate his awesome voice, because I loved John Lennon's voice. I kind of, after seeing Hard Day's Night, I kind of shaped my whole personality after John Lennon, really. Because he was so great in that movie. He was so funny.
Yeah, he was funny.
And so I've always kind of, emulated him.
Yeah. I was fortunate to interview Julian. He's such a nice guy. I love Julian.
He's a great guy.
Yeah,
I know him. Yeah, he's a really cool guy.
Love his music, and he probably should have gotten a lot more recognition than he did, which was a real shame. Because he's such a talented guy. Songwriter, musician.
He is.
Yep. You also released a live album in, I think, 2014, 2015.
That's right. And I don't have any more copies around because I have to give a friend of mine a copy. And I've been looking for that album, and I can't find it anywhere.
You can't find it anywhere?
I just sold all the albums of it, and I've got all my other albums, but I can't find that album.
I guess you'll have to buy it on Amazon.
I guess so.
I just sent Rupert Holmes a copy of my book, and I had to buy it on Amazon because I didn't have any copies.
Oh, really?
I do that all the time. Yeah. It's good for the economy, I guess.
I guess this kind of thing happens.
Well, On and On, I put that as one of the all-time favorite. It's a timeless summertime hit, and I put that, kind of with Margaritaville, with Rupert Holmes' Pina Colada song. It's one of those feel-good, beachy type songs, and the one lyric that sticks in your mind forever and ever about that song is, so he takes a ladder, steals the stars from the sky, puts on Sinatra, and starts to cry. I mean, that's genius.
I got to say that was one of those lines that just, as through my career, people have mentioned those lines to me. Just like I'll be like picking out a Brocco cauliflower or something in Safeway, and to get a really good one, and then somebody will come over and say, that line, puts on Sinatra. They'll tell me as I'm picking on vegetables. I mean, it's amazing. Yeah, they really that really did. There's another line of mine that totally gets a lot of. Is I feel so miserable without you. It's almost like having you here.
Right.
I actually saw it on a greeting card, and I put it on my in my song, and everybody, from all the quotation people, always get in touch with me saying this is a great, quote of mine, and I didn't make it up. But it's a funny line. There's also another line. I feel so miserable without you. It's almost like having you here.
Yeah.
No, that's what didn't I just say that? Or did I say, yeah, that's the line.
On and On, what inspired you to write that one?
On and On, I mean, that's a long time ago. I was a young man, and it was, I wrote it, mostly I was just walking down to the corner store, and I got that title in my head, and I thought, oh, this is a good title. Mm-hmm. So, I started working on it, and back then I had my my landlady had all these beautiful flowers, all over, and it was like very exotic, So I kind of had the feeling that I was somewhere else. So that's why I said, down in Jamaica, they got lots of pretty women. That's where that came from.
Great song. I never realized Andrew Gold was on the song, right? Didn't he play the guitar? Yeah, he
played this lick.
Right.
That I told him to play. It was like this. And he plays it a couple of times in the song. And then, what's funny is that Beyonce's people wound up taking the lick and putting it in their song, and it's all throughout the song. In this song called Ring Off, that was on her Beyonce's Platinum Beyonce album. And it was a song about her mother getting a divorce or having problems with her father or some kind of thing, and I thought it sounded like a hit. I thought they were going to release it, so I was counting all my money, I counted all my chickens, like you're not supposed to do. My eggs. I counted my eggs, and it didn't happen. It wound up. The mother wound up marrying somebody else, and then she didn't want the song out or whatever, and the song never came out as a single. And so I watched all my money just go bye.
What's cool about you though? You're a timeless guy. I mean, you've been around for a long time, but you still, make a difference today. Which is very, very important. I think that's
I'm
awesome.
like one of the last of the Mohicans or something. At this point.
Yeah.
I mean, so many great artists, passed away. I mean, in the last year, year before. I mean, wow. 2016, it was terrible. But then we lost one of the greats, Tom Petty, last year. I mean,
and that was
a killer
shocking.
For me. I love Tom Petty.
Yeah.
Such a great artist.
Andrew Gold. Andrew Gold was.
Andrew Gold was one of my good buddies. I mean, Andrew Gold was friends. I was friends with Andrew Gold from like the early '70s. I mean, really long time.
Lots
that
of
was
hits,
a real loss.
Boy. Yeah.
What a great talent. We wrote a lot together too.
Yeah, I miss those days. I was actually a top 40 disc jockey back in the late '70s. So yeah, that was a pretty good time. It's good music back then. Nice eclectic mix.
Yeah,
so you guys were, hopping back in the day.
Those were the days, the disco days.
Yeah, disco, new wave. You had Zeppelin was still in there. You still had some Stone stuff. It was a nice mixture in a way.
Oh, yeah. I was more of a new wave guy back then, and there was a time when music was really good. It was like the early 80s,
right.
and it was like 81, 82, around then. It just there were some great bands back then that were popping up. I'm thinking of the Waitresses. I don't know why. I didn't really know their stuff that much. I just remember that one song. I know what boys like.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of other things that were great.
Yeah.
We're the kids in America. All those.
Right.
All those.
That was
songs.
fun stuff, man. It
was
was
a fun, fun time.
Yeah. When
uh,
MTV came out, that was pretty cool.
Oh no. You saw that show?
What? Yeah, in the beginning. The beginning was okay, but then it got, kind of. But there was some good stuff on there in the beginning.
I'm so embarrassed for that show because I dressed like a Smurf and everything. I did all sorts of stupid stuff. I mean, how many people have that in their background that they dressed like a Smurf?
Like a Smurf
on television. That's a terrible thing to live with.
It's funny to look back now at those days, isn't it? I was watching a couple of interviews you did with Dick Clark and some other people.
If you go to my website, I've got like 15 different clips of me that my person, my webmaster, just put in there. She did a great job. Check out my website at StephenBishop.com.
Right.
With a PH.
Yep, I've been there. I've been there
Oh,
already.
you've been there?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sure.
Oh, there's all sorts
research.
of stuff on that. Yeah, there's me
That's
with Dick Clark and.
It's funny to see though in the beginning, like with Dick Clark and some of the other guys, how you were kind of shy in a way, the way you talked, and then you just, as the years went on, you just got more bolder and bolder and funnier and.
I know. It happened. I was always kind of goofy, even in high school, but. But I was more shy in high school. I used to bring my guitar up on this big, this mountain that was within the lunch quad, and I used to sit on top of this high mountain, and then I got in trouble with my teachers and Mr. Fansler.
Yeah, I was one of those long-haired guys in high school.
I wanted to have long hair, but they wouldn't let me have long hair. I was like, they were always following me, just
really.
When are you going to get your hair cut? And my stepfather, who was bald, he really didn't like my long hair.
But
Those were the
you
days.
started out with the Weeds. This was like way back in '67. There's another Weeds out with a guy named Freddie Cole. That wasn't the same band, was it?
No.
Okay.
I was an unknown band.
Okay.
No, that was something else.
You guys did kind of
we were mostly, played for like fraternity parties.
Right. And
Stuff
you
like
played
that.
like British Invasion stuff, didn't you?
What?
Did you play like British Invasion type music?
Oh, I
back then?
love British Invasion music.
Yeah.
British Invasion music was my favorite.
You got British Invasion going on right now.
That's right. I've got a great singer staying with me with her child. Her name's Rumor. Have you ever heard of Rumor?
I'm embarrassed I have not.
Yeah, she's a great singer.
Right.
From England.
Does she sing by herself? Is she solo, or has she got a band?
We've done duets before, and
okay.
Yeah, we've written songs before and everything. She's just staying here.
You guys working on anything right now?
What?
Are you working on anything right now?
No, right now she's just dealing with her little 8-month-year-old. Oh,
Okay.
15 months. 15 months.
Okay. Come on, Denny. Go.
Well, back in the day, I guess when you started, when you were poor, macaroni and cheese and pork and beans, mixing them together, that lasted you quite a while, didn't it?
Yeah. But British Invasion was something that I just really loved it. I mean, I still love it. You know, it's funny because I have a stepson who's now 17. You know, and sometimes I play I play his music in the car when we're coming from one place to another.
Right.
And you know, he plays what he likes, which is mostly rap music and stuff, which is fine. You know, it's okay. I like some rap music. I like who's that guy? Beyonce's you know, person. I think some of his things are really good. But anyway, he played a bunch of stuff, and so I asked him. I said, "Listen, I just played just the other day. I was enjoying on my Alexis. I was enjoying the Kinks doing you know, All Day and All the Night. Now I heard that when I was 15 years old. I said, "Are you going to be playing this kind of music that you're playing now when you're my age, you know, all these years later?" He said, "Yeah." I went, "Oh, oh well."
Yeah, we'll see
I
about
tried to
that.
make a point. It didn't really work.
It didn't work, huh?
No.
Yeah, the Kinks are supposed to get back together again. Did you hear that?
Oh, are they?
Yeah, according to Ray Davies, you know.
Wow,
They're
they're
gonna...
so good. They just were like, wow. They came out and just, I was so amazed by them back then. I just loved their stuff. You really got me. It's incredible rock and roll.
I just had a couple of days ago John McNally from the Searchers on. He was a guitar player from the Searchers, and he's been with the band for 50 years. And
that's how it begins.
Yeah, there you
needles
go.
And pins. He always did needles
Love Potion
and pins,
#9. Yeah.
I saw her today. I saw her face. It was a face I loved, and I knew I had to break away and get down on my knees and pray. Well, I'm surprised I remember all those lyrics.
Man, you got to do that song. You sound good. You sound just like them.
I love British Invasion. I mean, so much of it, even the stuff that I didn't like at the time so much. Have I the right to hold you? You know I always love you. You know, that weird song by Honeycombs.
Yep.
I did a book,
my favorite
called
period.
Songs in the Rough. It was an original rough draft of famous songs. I did it in the 95, I think, 96.
Mm-hmm.
It's still available somewhere on Amazon. It's called Songs in the Rough.
Right.
It's original rough drafts of famous songs. And
did you? I haven't seen that.
I got some great songs in there, but it's sold out, so it's not available mostly.
Huh. Do you have British Invasion songs on there too, or is it?
Oh yeah, sure.
Oh, okay. I like to hear that.
Sure, I got Beatles songs, Beatles rough drafts in there, and Jimi Hendrix rough drafts, and Gary Lewis and the Playboys. This time in Ring.
Yep. Where can you find that? I mean, it's not available on Amazon?
I think it's available on Amazon still, or different places, but it's not easy to get. Because it's pretty much sold out. It's a great book. It's really great.
Sounds great. I got to talk about Animal House.
So you mentioned Benji, and that's my newest thing that I've
right.
I got that's on Netflix, and they play our song twice in it. It's a really pretty song if you check it out. It's called Almost Home. And
I did listen to it. I think it was on your website.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of cool that they brought Benji back. I like that.
Yeah.
I like Netflix. Big fan of Netflix.
Netflix has gotten really fun. I mean, there's so many different shows on there. I've been watching 2 shows now. My wife and I are like hooked on these shows.
Right.
Riverdale.
Okay.
Have you heard of that one?
I heard of it. I haven't seen it yet.
It's like a teenage kind of thing. It's a tribute to the Archie thing, but it's very serious.
Really?
It's a serious side of Archie.
You're
and
kidding
all that.
me.
You know, with Veronica and Betty, it's all that same stuff, but very serious. And,
Wow.
you know, guns,
I did not know that.
And killing, and you know, all sorts of heavy stuff. And then the other show we're watching is this show called Glow about women wrestling.
Huh.
Which you know, you can always learn more about that.
That's true.
I mean, that helps you in life.
Yeah.
To know about women wrestling.
See, there's the real Stephen Bishop coming out.
Ooh. I guess so.
Took you a while to evolve, but it's coming out now.
I guess so. It's finally happening.
So, how did you enjoy being in Animal House? That was one of the funniest scenes in the movie.
Well, it's kind of an iconic scene now. We just had our 40th anniversary,
right?
And I just saw the movie, and it's like a really great print of it, and it just was so funny. Still, I don't know. I'm a big fan. I think it's one of the funniest movies I've ever seen, and it's just classic. It's so iconic. It's like there's so many bits in it now that you see and you go, wow, that's like so. I've seen that so many times now, and that looks great. I mean, it was so funny. And you know, my bit, you know, is like we were doing something else. I was going to go downstairs and try and flirt with Karen or something, and that didn't really work. So then we all came up with that idea. It was kind of a mutual thing. They came up with the idea that Belushi was going to break my guitar, and then I had that song that I came up with because they wanted a public domain song. So I knew about that song from the olden days, from when I first started playing guitar. I mean, it's an old song. You know, I gave my love a cherry that had no stone. I gave my love a chicken that had no bone. You know, it's just an old, perfect. It's perfect for that scene because that's what guys would do in college back then. And that's set in '62, right?
Yep, '62, yeah.
So, and the songs that I did, you know, I wrote the theme, and I did another song that's in it during the scene where I can't remember if it's Babs or Mandy, but one of them is giving Greg a good time, you know, in the car on a mountaintop, and that's my song going by there. Be my dream girl. I did both songs with this high thing because that's really what was happening back then. You know, Frankie Valli and the
that's right.
And the who was it? Frankie Valli and the
Four Seasons.
Four Seasons. Why am I blanking? I don't know. It just really seemed to work like that with that high. Be my dream girl and make my dream come true. And a little bit of trivia, I had a big crush on Carrie Fisher back then in the 77, and I put on the recording at the very end, I go, be my dream girl, Carrie baby. I go, Carrie baby.
Did you ever ask her out?
Oh yeah, we went out a couple of times.
Did you?
When she was really young, you know, she was like 22.
Yeah.
And I was like 25 back then, and we went to a couple of things, but you know, we never were biblical or anything.
Right. She was gorgeous.
Oh, she was a beautiful girl, and she was so talented, and she could just do any voice. You know, she used to be able to do Judy Garland and all these different people, and she was just so brilliant. She was just really a phenomenal talent. It's really sad. You know, I saw her last time I saw her was at I think J.D. Souther was playing at this place. And I went to see him, and I saw her. She gave me a hug outside. But she was really terrific person in my past here.
Who else have you dated that we might know?
Oh, who else have I dated?
Is there a long list?
Well, I had my moments of dating different people.
Mm-hmm.
When I was first, when I got kind of discovered and I was first successful, I was dating a lot of actresses. I went out with Jenny Agutter from Walkabout.
Right.
We went to something, and I went with Pamela Sue Martin for a while.
Oh, wow.
Back then, and of course Leslie Ann Warren. We had a phone thing. It was supposed to be on the phone.
Oh my goodness, she's gorgeous.
Yeah, I never really.
I always had a thing for her too.
Oh, she was so beautiful.
Yeah.
Still is beautiful. She was a beautiful girl. Yeah, that's good enough. Oh, and Karen Allen.
Oh, Karen Allen, yeah.
Yeah, Karen Allen. She's still my good friend.
Mm-hmm.
We used to go together years ago.
You met, how did you and Leah Kunkel meet? They were from, her and Katz were from my hometown, which is Baltimore, Maryland. They were, I think, born and raised there. But
Well,
how
she's
did
up
you
there
and
in
Leah,
Northampton now. She's an attorney.
She's an attorney, right? An entertainment attorney?
Yeah, entertainment attorney.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you meet her?
Well, I mean, I met her through my friend James Lee Stanley.
Right.
And we became great friends. And she really helped me out. She's the one who got my stuff to Art Garfunkel, and she's been a great friend.
How's Art doing? Is he going to? I know Paul Simon's retiring. He's on his last tour, I think.
I know.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Kind of sad to see these guys retire, and
well, they got to do it sometime. I can't believe I'm still doing it. I'm like, oh my god.
Well, you're still a young guy.
Kind of. I'm getting up there like everybody.
Yeah.
I'm kind of getting to a point where I just really want to just stay home and watch reruns of Leave It to Beaver. That's really where I'm at. I think there's a joy and a wonder that's to be made from that experience, and maybe eating like popcorn or something. I don't know. And playing with my
You
dog.
got to know Steve Martin somewhere, don't you? You know Steve Martin?
Well, I've seen him a couple of times in person. I met him years ago, right before he went on stage. I met him in '70. I met just almost everybody now.
Yeah.
But I met him like right before when he was huge, when he was like really big star. And then of all things, he parked right in front of my house.
Really?
When he was doing a movie, and he was doing that movie Spotlight at the top of the street. And he parked right across from me, which is weird to look out of your window and see Steve Martin across the street and with his window open playing his banjo. And I'm just
weird.
like, but I don't want to bug him. I'm not going to knock on his door and hassle him. But I saw him in Bed Bath & Beyond just the other day, too. He was right next to me. And I'm like,
really?
This is weird. Maybe I should say something. And I said, no, I'm not going to say anything.
Hey, that's an omen. I think you guys need to collaborate or do something.
Yeah, he does just fine on his own. He's a great artist, great funny guy.
Paired up.
He's always been great.
Him and Edie.
If you don't believe me, check out the Great Flydini.
Yeah, don't think Great Flydini. That's right.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do. With the zipper thing.
That was so funny.
That's on Johnny Carson.
Yeah, that was classic.
I met the guy, I interviewed the guy who actually started his career, Mason Williams, guitar player Mason Williams.
Oh, yeah.
He was a writer, a comedy writer, and he got Steve Martin his first first gig and first job and everything.
Mason Williams, classical gas.
That's right. You know, a lot of people forget about guys like that, but I don't. I never do, because that was a big part of my life. You know, and you know, it's like the lead singer from Green Tambourine. I just interviewed him. I want to see what he was doing. What he
the
was
lead singer from where?
From gosh, what is wrong with me? Guy that sang Green Tambourine. The Lemon
Green
Pipers.
Tambourine, the Lemon Pipers?
The Lemon Pipers, yeah. I had him on a couple weeks ago.
Oh, that's funny. Listen while I play my green tambourine.
Yeah, you do some awesome impersonations.
What?
You do some awesome impersonations of musicians.
Oh, yeah, I can do everybody.
Yeah.
But I've never been to me. Isn't that funny, Ray?
What's that?
But I've never been to me. I've been everywhere in the world, but I've never been to me. I think
really?
That's so corny. I've never been to me. I always thought that song was such a funny song. I've been to everywhere, but I've never been to me. That was a hit years ago.
Did you get? I guess you met Orson Welles, right? Because you were in his.
I met Orson Welles. I met him. He didn't care, but I met him.
Yeah.
You know, I just said hello. I met a lot of people. I met Keith Moon, which was incredible to meet Keith Moon, one of the greatest drummers of all time.
That's right.
And very lucky to have met great, awesome artists.
Yes, you have.
I have.
A hell of a career, man. I tell you that. And it's not over yet. It's not over yet.
No, it's not. I still got lots to do. Going to Japan in October again. I just went last year. They love me in Japan.
You're huge in the Philippines, aren't you?
I am, and I just got back, and I tell you what I've been working on. I've been working on a documentary about my experience in the Philippines, and with the song "It Might Be You," because the song "It Might Be You" that I didn't write, it's the only song I didn't write.
Mm-hmm. Right.
It was everything else I've written of mine, pretty much. And it's like for about 10 years now. Every time I go over there, I've been going over there. This was my 11th trip this last time.
Mm-hmm.
And I just got back a couple of weeks ago, and it's like insane. The people love that song. It Might Be You so much. It's like, you know, there's something about that song they just love, and I wanted to do a documentary about it. You know, the power of a song. You know,
they should make it the national song of the Philippines.
We've been working on it every day, actually. Me and my collaborator.
So, do you have another album coming out? Are you working on? What are you working on?
Well, I just did 2 albums in the last couple of years, and I feel like, you know, well, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
We've got Be Here Then, and then it's got a song on it that people really like called Pretty Baby, written by myself and Tia Sillers, who wrote I Hope You Dance. It's really a cool song. And that's on Be Here Then, and then I've got the, you know, Blueprint, and, you know, at some point I might make an EP or something, you know. I'm not sure if I'm going to do a whole album. I'm not sure. I don't know. I haven't been writing as much as working lately. But I guess I got to get back in the old writing seat again.
Yeah, we need you, man. We need good music out there. There's too much of the same old crap on mainstream radio. I hate it. You know?
I know. You know what's funny is I met, I don't know if you guys are with Clear Channel, but I met with, I did a show for Clear Channel about, in San Antonio, of all places, years ago. And I told the guy, I said, you know, I have an idea for a great radio station, you know, and he said, really? We really want to know. What is it?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And I said, well, go back to the old formats of the 60s, where you had like Jimi Hendrix, Purple Haze, then you had followed that by Frank Sinatra's My Life, or whatever that song was, and then follow that with a country song.
And then R&B.
I mean, like, I beg your pardon, I never promised you a rose garden. That's how radio used to be.
That's right.
That used to be like, that's how I grew up on radio. So I have a real eclectic sense of music, and I like all sorts of different kinds of music, and I like to put different styles on my albums. So it's not just one whole thing, So I have, different kinds of songs,
Well, start the station, start the show, and I'll be one of your DJs for sure, because I grew up on all that stuff.
But radio doesn't want to do that anymore. They want to do formatted, demographic, things.
Yep.
Where just,
I tell you what, here's the worst thing about radio. I went to broadcasting school, and it was owned by CBS at the time. And the rule of thumb was don't play more than 3 spots in a row because you'll lose your audience. Now look what has happened. I mean, there's 10 commercials in a row, and you go, what was I listening to?
Yeah.
That's the big problem. Besides the music. There's too much ads. Same thing on television, Same thing on regular TV. There's way too much advertising. It killed the entertainment value.
Yeah. It makes sense.
I got to ask you, I might be hallucinating, but I thought I saw you in concert, and tell me if I'm wrong, back in '76. Did you open for Cat Stevens?
No.
You did not. I could have sworn I saw you open up for the Cat Stevens tour, the Magic Cat Earth tour in '76, but maybe I'm wrong.
Oh, no, that's not me.
It wasn't you. I guess he was by himself on that
I
night.
played with a lot of people, but I haven't played with Cat Stevens. I played with Randy Newman. I played with Hart. I played with Fleetwood Mac.
Fleetwood Mac. Maybe it was Fleetwood Mac then, where I saw you. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I played with Fleetwood Mac in Hawaii many moons ago.
Huh. Well, I want to get your upcoming dates real quick here.
You know where? It's on my website. I don't know I can't tell you what it is. I don't know. It's on my website. There's a whole thing on my website.
Well, I got it here. I'm on top of things.
Oh, good. I'm doing a show this Wednesday.
You got the 4th of July thing in L.A.
Right.
Is that the Terrania Resort? Is that how you say that?
It's called Terrania.
Terrania Resort in L.A.
Right.
That's a great show with Al Jardine, Ambrosia, lots of other guys. August 16th, I got you at the Cutting Room in New York City. The 17th at the Sugar House Casino in Philly. August 30th in Houston, Texas at Do-Si-Do Woodlands. August 31st, Texan Theater in Greenville, Texas, I guess near Dallas. You got a private event coming up in Florida on September 15th. Wonder where that is. You know what part of Florida that is?
I guess so. I don't know. Somebody tells me what to do, and I do it. I don't know.
And you'll be in Osaka, Tokyo in Osaka, October 1st through 7th. And I'm going way, way down the list now. Sunday, March 17th, 2019, you'll be in beautiful Clearwater, Florida at the Murray Theater. So I think tickets are already on sale.
I think I'm doing a cruise in February of next year.
Oh, okay. I think I did see that.
I think so.
Yeah, I think you are doing a cruise. Those are fun, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. Except when you're walking around to get a sandwich or something, and somebody goes, "Hey, man, I saw you at your show, and you were really incredible. What's your name? Randy Newman?" No, I'm not Randy Newman.
Yeah, that must suck.
Will you please sign my shoulder?
My mom, God bless her soul, she passed away 2 years ago. We had retail electronic businesses in Washington, D.C., downtown. I wrote a book about it. And we used to get a lot of celebrities that used to walk in, and Anthony Newley walked in. And my mom looks at him and says,
"What kind of fool am I?"
Yeah, that's him. Boy, he had a weird voice, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He did.
But my mom said he thought it was Charles Aznavour. And she goes right out, "Hey, you're Charles Aznavour." She got such a dirty look from Dooley.
Oh, God.
Yeah, so I know the feeling.
Okay,
Steven,
Ray,
here's your last...
get going here.
All right, you got time for one last question?
Yeah, sure.
All right, if you had a Field of Dreams wish, like the movie, to perform or collaborate with anyone from the past or present, who would that be?
Oh, past or present?
Yeah, anybody.
Wow. Well,
writing partner.
I'd say John Lennon would be.
John Lennon.
Just to be alive with John Lennon would be a thrill. And then, of course, Jimi Hendrix.
Yep.
And Paul McCartney, but he's around still.
Yeah, I've seen pictures of you and Paul.
I'd like to tell Mick Jagger what a great songwriter I think he is.
Yeah. Well, you should get a hold of Paul and Mick, for that matter, and maybe collaborate with both of them. Why not?
Why not?
Yeah, why not? Steven, thank you, man, for being on the show. I want to say thank you for all the great music you've given us and continue to bring us. Do not retire. Keep it going, please. We need you.
I'm going to keep it going.
All right. Keep in touch, and happy 4th of July, man.
Okay, great, Ray. Thanks.
All right. Thanks, Steven. Take care.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right. Take care. Bye-bye. For more information about Stephen Bishop and concert dates, visit www.stephenbishop.com. Also on Facebook, www.facebook.com/Stephen Bishop Official. Also purchase Stephen Bishop's latest release blueprint, available at Amazon.com. Very special thanks to Liz of Stephen Bishop Music and Windsong Entertainment, Windsong or Winesong, I think it's Windsong Entertainment, artist management and consulting, for arranging this interview with Stephen Bishop, and of course the dynamic duo of Doug and Don Newsom of BBS Radio for making the magic happen for each and every broadcast of the Ray Shasho Show. If you have comments or suggestions for me, just contact me at the RayShashoshow@gmail.com. Don't forget to purchase a copy of my book entitled Check the G's, The True Story of a Eclectic American Family and Their Wacky Family Business, available now at iUniverse.com and Amazon.com. I promise you will live it. Have a great week, everybody.
Thank you, everybody, for listening to Interviewing the Legends. Brought to you by the Publicity Works Agency. Call 941-877-1552 or visit us at publicityworksagency.com, specializing in author and music artist publicity plans. We shine when we make you shine. Tune in to Interviewing the Legends every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Pacific Time on BBS Radio, Station 1.